Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Ebben with a WBZ News update. Our top stories this Monday. With a nor'easter on the way, Mayor Wu has already announced a weather emergency in the city of Boston that will go into effect starting at 10 o'clock tonight. Early closings include all Boston public schools, buildings, and libraries. This snow is expected to come down awfully fast, with most of it expected during the height of rush hour. As of last night, the Public Works Department has just shy of 40,000 tons of salt and sand ready to go. Low-income MBTA riders could see reduced fares this summer. State officials laid out a proposal today. It would offer half-price fares for people who earn 200% or less of the federal poverty level, but don't qualify for an existing program. Officials say that means about 60,000 riders could become eligible for that. The MBTA Board of Directors is taking public comment on the proposal today, and then the board will vote on whether to move forward at the end of March. In Nashua, New Hampshire, a Subway employee is facing charges for a burglary at his own workplace. Police say back in January, Everett Rice broke into the Subway on Coliseum Ave. The restaurant's manager called police and identified Rice as the suspect. He turned himself in on Friday. He's due in court next week. So this nor'easter is on the way. When does it start? Let's get a check of the forecast with Jason Mikell.
Well, Paula, the donut hole centers in and around the Boston area. The New England territory is really going to be unhinged as far as the storm system is concerned. This is not an editorializing. This is not a hype. This is mainly what's going to happen. So we're expecting around a foot of snow in several areas here in southern New England, including the Boston area. You can see some of the numbers beginning to lighten their load along the South Shore, getting out into the Cape, roughly a few inches there. Now, the main impacts really hinge upon not only the winds, but also the coastal flooding concerns. On top of that, the snow rates, and even because of the winds, what could be power outages in some areas. Heavy snow, at least in the moderate to high category. Coastal erosion, I'm not expecting too terribly high of this being an issue, but we will likely have some coastal flooding, all because of astronomical tide, and we'll talk to you about that. But also bear in mind, again, the strong winds coupled with some heavy snow coming down. Rates anywhere from 1 to 2 inches an hour, likely getting up to 2 to 3 inches an hour, will limit visibility and cut that down significantly in the peak of the storm. Flood stage 12.5 feet, roughly around 11 feet. You can see early tonight around 1:30 a.m. spilling over to tomorrow afternoon, roughly around 1:45 p.m. and then spilling on over into the early hours for us on Wednesday. The thing about Wednesday, though, is in the wake of the storm moving out, we're going to be left with a lot of cold air, and that equates to freezing, and that also equates to some icing. Forecast wind gusts. Look at this. The legend at the top of the screen there, expecting 40+ miles per hour, mainly along the South Shore, the Cape and the islands. There's going to be a strong onshore flow, and that could likely lead to some coastal flooding concerns. 1 to 2 feet in terms of inundation. Many of the shoreline roads would be impassable, and certainly some of the secondary roadways could also be impassable. Let's come in a little bit tighter now. This is Tuesday, roughly at 1:30 in the morning. Most of the state and even Connecticut, Rhode Island, still fairly dry, just under some cloudy skies. But things really start to ramp up. 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. The outer bands of snow showers begin to move on through. Still along and also south of the Mass Pike, you're still in a lot of snowfall, okay? Still out in the Cape and the islands, you're still expecting some of that moderate sort of modulations in terms of some rain mixed with a little bit of snow, mixed with a little bit of mixed precipitation. Certainly, by the time we get to 8, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, mainly snow, everybody. We're in the cold sector, and we're going to be in the cold sector for many, many days to come. And as a result, still expecting that onshore flow. So we're still fetching moisture off the Atlantic, throwing it inland, but also maxing with a lot of the cold air in behind the storm. Temperatures will be falling. And as a result of that, we're going to be clearing things out overnight Tuesday and waking up on Wednesday. Despite the cold air, we're going to have a beautiful start to Tuesday, but everything will be frozen. That flash freeze is going to happen. Lows tonight will likely be in the mid to upper 20s and low 30s, with high temperatures tomorrow likely to be anywhere from 35 to 40 degrees in some areas well to the south, but in and around Boston, mid to low 30s. Okay, here's our look at our low temperatures overnight tonight. Highs will be in the upper 40s today, so that's going to be a far cry away from where we're expecting high temperatures to be on Tuesday. And even by Wednesday, even more colder air is moving back in. This is a look at Worcester, okay? So far this season, over 30 inches, just over 30 inches. But as far as Boston is concerned, we've only been less than 10 inches thus far this season. Wednesday, Valentine's Day, very cold, but also sunny. By Thursday and Friday, back into the 30s and remaining in the 30s even through the weekend, some teens and even 20s in the overnight. But by and large, we could be talking about another system arriving Thursday night into Friday, Paula. So we are not done yet. Winter is sticking around.
All right, Jason, thank you. I'm Paula Ebben. This has been a WBZ News Update.